There was no doubt that M3GAN, released in January 2022, was a surprise hit in the box office for Universal Pictures, Blumhouse Productions, and James Wan Atomic Monster. Raking in $180 million at a budget of $12 million was nothing to scoff at. The screenplay, written by Akila Cooper, developed from a story she had created with Wan, told a story of the proliferation of artificial intelligence and the classic tale of what if they went sentient and gone rogue, something James Cameron had warned us decades ago with his movie Terminator. Unlike Terminator, which went on the action route, M3GAN horrified audiences who had nightmares from growing up with murderous doll features like Child's Play and Chucky being the prime suspect. Nobody can forget the part when M3GAN chased down the boy who bullied Caddy, whom she was programmed to protect, in the forelimbs like a predatory animal, or when she danced like a girl of her age before innocuously slaying people. There were ample reasons why M3GAN took the cinematic scene, which was waking from a dormant period after the pandemic, by storm with a scary front ride. The monumental success of course meant that the production team needed to strike when the iron was hot with a sequel to cement the budding horror franchise and make M3GAN a recognizable face of horror moving forward. In early 2024, the teaser trailer was premiered with rabid excitement from fans of the first movie. A quirky trailer that utilized Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again, which was such a suitable track for the ominous return of a killer android until you realized it was not. M3GAN did return, but like T-800 in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, she had returned as a protector to fight against new villains or the T-1000 of the M3GAN universe. Then again, it felt like it was not totally safe to trust M3GAN completely. The trailer was a prelude to the plot of M3GAN 2.0, which certainly strayed away from the innate horror elements of a demonic doll that went rogue and terrorized victims along its warpath. 2 years after the destruction created and the genocide caused by the killer android, she was rightfully put to eternal rest as Gemma and Caddy were trying to get their life back from the trauma. Gemma became an advocate for artificial intelligence regulation and established a relationship with a cybersecurity expert, Christian, both professionally and romantically. Her crew will continue to start Kickstarter projects to help average Joe with robotics, improving their way of lives. Meanwhile, the American government has solicited a killer android in some sensitive geopolitical missions by the notable name of Amelia, autonomous military engagement, logistics and infiltration android. Please don't ask me to repeat that again. Amelia, a fully android version of Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell, would shake the control of his Pentagon dum-dums, who would link the flawed manufacture to the creator of M3GAN, which was the basis of this new model. As Gemma and a cohort were embroiled in this geopolitical mess, her deadly assailant would make her presence known as M3GAN promised to be nice and bring down Amelia in order to be resurrected with respect and continue to serve her purpose. This led to a highly convoluted cat and mouse chase with android on human and android on android violence, incomprehensible jargons, and snarky banter between M3GAN and Gemma, which I wondered if it was required. Then again, Chucky was awfully snarky while killing people for fun. In a year when we have a decent self-deprecation feature on the deep-rooted rotten nature of the humankind in Companion, I just want a scary doll-like android, hiding in the shadows, chasing unsuspecting victims in skin-crawling galloping stunts, just went all out to satisfy her bloodthirst like a hellspawn, which I think only happened once near the end of this movie. Some critics labelled this movie as a mix of Terminator 2 and Mission Impossible, and sadly that was an apt description of the movie, with the horror elements that sent tremors previously in the industry very much watered down. If you remove the prerequisites you are looking for in a notable horror sequel, M3GAN 2.0 is a watchable movie with interesting high-tech sci-fi elements. Kiwi director Gerard Johnstone will be the main scriptwriter on the story he had developed with Akila Cooper, and he had created a fun espionage movie with a lot of double crossings that will make one go, I knew that would happen. The fight choreography between M3GAN and Amelia was highly entertaining, and the whole climatic end had strong echoes of a 1990s sci-fi thriller like a Total Recall. There was this megalomaniac of a technocrat called Alton, whose voice was so recognizable as Johnstone fellow Kiwi Jermaine Clement, but the actor was unrecognizable, looking buff, until I had to double check for this review that it was Clement in the role of Elton all along. Elton's involvement in the plot was fun, much more so than Ronny Chieng's character in the earlier movie, but I am being biased because I have a strong disdain of the Malaysian comedian. Alison Williams and Violet McCraw as Gemma and Caddy respectively were never engaging protagonists for me to follow. This was even more apparent in 2.0. While Caddy was a child with a lot of emotional baggage in the earlier movie and transformed into a whiny teenager, Gemma had always that the world was not treating her good energy, and with Williams bearing physical resemblance to Jennifer Carpenter, famously known for her role as the crazy sister in Dexter, her unlikability seamlessly went up a notch. There was no doubt M3GAN was creepy even before she went rogue, and a lot of kudos were to be given at Amy Donald for the physical acting and Jenna Davis for the cadence in her voice acting. The pair brought M3GAN back to life with aplomb in the sequel, and nothing should take away from the winning formula, though Davis had been doing a lot of heavy lifting when the android had been looming in the background with the strong objection to bring the physical form back in the first act of the story. Ukrainian actress Ivana Sakno also did a fantastic job as Amelia. She was splendid in her expressionless stature as an android with a mission. It actually was a skillful performance as compared to, let's say, Kristanna Loken as TX in Terminator 3. Apparently, M3GAN 2.0 did not stir enough interest despite the production and marketing budget had been elevated in an aggressive move to solidify a notable horror franchise. The movie was released in the competitive summer blockbusters market and barely made back the budget. I think the main culprit for the poor performance was the fact that the studios were being overzealous to stray off from the horror theme of the sequel. During an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Jason Blum was quoted saying, "We all thought that M3GAN was like Superman. We could do anything to her. We could change genres. We could put her in the summer. We could make her look different. We could turn her from a bad guy into a good guy. And we classically overthought how powerful people's engagement was with her." To be frank, I never held M3GAN up on the pedestal. The original movie was an interesting take on the horror of an artificial intelligence, which itself had been sort of overdone in the period of 2 years, and the real horror came from how AI had been robbing jobs from actual human beings. I had derived enough fun from M3GAN 2.0 and will be interested to rewatch this pair of movies back to back sometime down the road. M3GAN 2.0 will be awarded with a rating of 6.5 out of 10. Sequels are always fighting an uphill task from the onset to outdo the original, especially one that created a monumental cultural zeitgeist. Stay tuned to this channel for reviews to notable sequels like 28 Years Later, The Black Phone 2, and Conjuring the Last Rite. So please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Christopher Langdon's Drop was another cautionary tale from Blumhouse Production about the bane of technology, so watch my review on that movie. Any idea for M3GAN 3.0? Should they go for the romantic comedy with a twist next? Just remember to tone down that smarminess from her and let her pull out more spinal cords from her victims in the future.